How you doing? Anyway, I was playing with my makeup and I got out of bed this morning with my usual CPAP hair, which means I had a big part up here to start with, so I decided to fill it in with the blood color like I'd been beaten the head. And I've got a little bitty place on my ear where I had a little pimple and popped it, so I've got a little actual real scab there. The rest of it is all just interesting colors out of the makeup. I use just basic, cheapo, everyday. Yep, here's your palette. Yep, here's your other palette, kind of, you know, cheapo, dusty, squirrely makeup. And what I started with is I bought a bottle of foundation that I thought was going to work. Turned out it was a pink undertone when I need the yellow, and the shade range was just wrong. So I took that and put some very white setting powder and covered the whole face. Now, if you don't have a really white setting powder, use a little cornstarch. It's fine. You just want to whiten things down so that you look pale. Once I got that done, I took a couple of eye pencils, a purple and a green, and did my eyebrows. Yes, I've already done this one, and yes, you can see some black under this eye because I was watching YouTube videos while tinkering here and forgot I was going to do this other side on camera for you guys, so sorry. Basically, all I've done is use a very few colors. There's a couple of blues, a couple of kind of lime, sour apple greens, some dusty, remember I've mentioned before in the dusty purples it looks like a bruise? Well, here you go. This is dusty purple on my complexion. Pretty awful, but it's great for this particular application. Now, I have gone actually down my neck some because it's going to depend on what your costume is, what you're going to want your makeup to do. And like I said, this one, that little scab there, comes with the body. It just, I've got a little place where I had a piercing that didn't work out, and every so often it turns into a little cyst, and there you go. The hair is compliments, literally, of my CPAP machine. I have to use it for breathing at night, and the headgear goes all over the place with straps and stuff. And I wake up very often with this big part, one side or the other funky thing. Sometimes it's standing stick straight up. It just depends on how comfortable and quiet a night I had while sleeping. Now, where I've got the quote-unquote blood on the side of my head, that's actually just a couple of different colors layered up. I started with that shade of a red, and then I added in this brown red and some basic brown and some black, and just kind of kept tapping over. And then I went around the edges with some greens and added more black in and some more of the reddish brown, and just kept layering it up until I liked the way it looked. Around my mouth, I've got the dusty blues and some of the purples. And all I did here was I've got a blue gloss, kind of a lipstick topper, and it's just called Blue Frost, and it looks really nifty on top of some lipsticks. But what I did here was put it on. I've got some of the powder eye makeup around the edges of the lips. I've also got a blue eye pencil that I've worked on it a little bit. And then I took some of the blue eyeshadow, just stuck my finger in it and tapped it on the lips a little bit so that you've got that cyanotic blue thing going on that you would sometimes get with a dead body. Now, I'm going to be a ghost for this coming Halloween. I've decided. But it's going to be a ghost with a Halloween t-shirt. Because I like my Halloween t-shirt. But if I'm going to be walking around out in the neighborhood with my grandkids, I'm going in costume. If I'm going to be standing on the front steps handing out candy, I'm going to be in costume. Because I'm just a big kid. Anyway, I'm going to get started on the other side of this face. Now, it doesn't have to match. I'm going to be using the same colors, but I can't guarantee it's going to be symmetrical. I don't necessarily need to be a symmetrical ghost. Well, maybe. We'll see. Anyway. Now see, this is what happens when you do red all over your head. This brush is needing a wash, a serious one. So I'm putting it out of my way so I don't grab it when I'm trying to use some of the other colors. I don't expect I'm putting any more blood necessarily on my head. Just remember, with some of the colors, you're gonna want to have extra brushes so that you can switch them around, because things like that red are going to stain the heck out of the brushes, and even with a color switch, you can't guarantee it's completely out. I'm getting my little hand mirror because this poor little palette, it's a cheapo. It doesn't have its very own mirror. It's just Anyway, let's see. I'm going to start with this pale blue up here and mix in some of this slightly darker blue and just start putting colors on the face. Like I said, I put that foundation on, and no, I didn't prime it. I wasn't too worried about stayability. And it doesn't have to be good foundation. It doesn't have to be excellent. You can go get the cheapest thing you can find that is too pale for you to start with. Completely off shade on your skin tone doesn't hurt. But I get started putting some of the colors down. My favorite is some of the blues. I stick a little purple in here and there. Just kind of mix it and drop them. Now, I'm not going to finish doing some of the shading until after I get finished with some of these lighter colors first, because when I go to start picking up black to shade in things, it's going to muddy up my brush, something fierce, and I don't really want all of that going that dark. I only want parts of it going that dark. Like I said, I just keep going around. This is what I did to the other side of the mouth earlier. Just kind of wiped it around and let the lips and skin pick up what it wanted. I didn't worry about specific coverage. I just said, here, have some. Now, if you happen to be like me and already have like lots of wrinkles and stuff, make use of them. Don't try to hide them. Fill them in with obnoxious color. Now, this bit, I know, I'm bad. I keep getting the stuff in the way while I'm trying to show you stuff. I'm just mixing my colors and dropping them on my face. And I'm sticking some greens in while I'm at it just because. I will keep messing with all of this whole face while I'm at this. Just because. Because as I put stuff on this side, I see stuff that I would like to touch up on the other side. Now, I need both of these palettes because there's a couple of different purples that I like to get into, and one of them is in the little white palette that I have. It's a really, really dusty purple, and that's what I was working with on the other side that gave this contour area such a lovely, lovely pallor. It's a really, really one of my least wonderful colors on the planet. A nice dusty purple. Do 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 do. Doodly doo. Yes, I could use a bigger brush, but these palettes have very small hands, and it's much easier to get these smaller brushes into the smaller pan. And then, because some of this purple is kind of sparkly and a little bit bright, I took up the foundation brush that I used to do the foundation over the whole face, and I just do a little of this. Blends it out a little more, taps it down a little, sets it back into the face a bit. So that it doesn't look like you've just sprayed yourself with purple glitter. But it does give you the contour effect of being slightly sunken. And yeah, it's going up under here too. Even our ghost has a little vanity. Let's try and hide a little of this double chin. Alrighty, not looking too bad. Now, I'm going to start putting some of the black in here and there. Yes, I keep looking at the camera, looking at what I'm doing here. because some of it I need to kind of check and see what's going on. To see how even or uneven I've gotten. Now, I told you this is a quick and dirty, but it'll look pretty good scaring kids on Halloween. No, it's not the glam vamp. It's not, you know, a glamorous ghost. But I've already scared my granddaughter with it today, so yeah. We'll just work with it that way. Now, I put the black around the eyes just to deepen it so that they look like they're sunken further back. But it's mixing with the blue, so you've still got some of the blues and the greens coming through from the rest of the makeup. And no, I'm not doing mascara. What I am doing is I'm going to take a little eyeliner pencil that I have that works really, really well because it's on the other eye. And it's one of the little samples that came in one of the little box type subscription things. Either that or this is the one Sephora sent me for my birthday. I signed up for Sephora just to keep an eye on stuff, and they sent me a birthday present. Kind of interesting. So yeah, I have a little high-end stuff. A little bitty pencil. That's the whole thing. Haven't sharpened it yet at all. That's, yeah. And all I did was do the waterline and then just kind of let it drag a bit under the eye. No, I'm not doing a smooth job. I'm not trying to do a smooth job. I'm supposed to be dead. The dead really are not, as far as I am aware, concerned about whether or not their eyeliner is straight. Now, if you're a vampire or a werewolf and going to some kind of Halloween party, you know, that's going to be more up to your lifestyle, you know. And then on the upper lashes, I literally, again, just kind of drag it along. Let it be thick where it wants to be thick and thin where it wants to be thin. The only thing I really try to do is get right down along the eyelashes so there's no like bright skin tone showing right there. And I do a tight line on the upper lashes. Again, just trying to cut down on the bright live skin tone kind of thing. Nope, I don't have funny contacts that are going to change my eyes. Don't have them, don't want them. I'm just weird that way. I'm kind of protective of my eyes, just a tiny bit. Anyway, yep, this is the Blue Frost. It's prestige vinyl wear, better known as an off-brand. Off-brands are nice and cheap. I'm going to put a little bit of this on the other half of my lips. And then I'm going to take that dark blue eyeliner and get some of that blue around my awful little mouth. And yes, my mouth is rather awful because I do cuss. Just try not to do it here, because you never know who is going to be watching and who they're watching with. Pop this open, stick my finger in the blue shadow. See? Blue shadow. And just kind of tap it on so that it shows up. Ready to go haunting with me? I think we're about ready to go out on the town. Shade that out just a little more. It's got a couple of dark patches. Now my husband is messing with the lights because he's going to change some angles. Boo. Ready to go spooking? Let me know what you think. Just remember, you don't have to have fancy theatrical makeup to do this. You don't have to have special expensive equipment to do this. You can do it just because you've got some imagination and some basic colors. You don't even have to go to the Halloween aisle and pick up those packs of grease paint that they have for painting kids. You can do this on yourself, on your kids, on your grandkids. Don't do the dogs. Leave the dogs and cats out of it. Just put the little hood costumes on them and go on. But you can have fun doing this kind of stuff for Halloween or any other kind of party where you want to be a ghoul or a ghost or whatever. Let me know what you think. I hope you have a spooky Halloween. Be good.